Good evening. Welcome to the high school band winter concert. We're so excited you're here. My name is Marc Nicholson. I'm the director of bands here. A couple of things we need to do before we get started. One, if you haven't visited the bake sale, which I believe is right out there, do that. It supports our band boosters who ultimately support your students, those charter buses, all the things we get throughout marching season. They're the ones that fundraise for that. If you're a band booster or a roadie, would you like stand up real quick, wave, do something? We want to give you a round of applause. Yeah. I'm telling you, if you've ever seen us at a contest, the other bands don't know what to do with our boosters and roadies, and we want to invite you to be a part of that. They literally see the China Spring crowd and they go, "That's just China Spring being China Spring." It's so funny. We would love for you to be a part of it. If you would consider that, I know I'm certain Jerry Tucker is somewhere out there. He's really tall. He probably is wearing he's selling baked goods. He would be someone to connect with, or just find one of those people that are already a member and they can get you in touch with who you need to do that. But we would certainly like you to be involved. That helps out our students. And one of the things that I think is special about China Spring in more organizations than one, but I'll certainly speak to the band organization, is the fact that parents show up to support their students. I know that sounds kind of like oh, well, duh, I would show up to support my child. However, I've worked in other places, and the band concerts don't look like this. Students are there because I asked them to be there, but it's not like this. And it's so different here when people show up and support their children, their students, their families' students, their neighbors' students. That's a big deal, and I appreciate that very much. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for making it a special place. Another thing, we would be remiss if we did not thank our administrators. And I say that because so many administrators, and some of you are going to go, "Oh yes," your first interaction with them is when someone did something not so right. Is that fair? And they get, yeah, Ms. Barty's laughing. They get a little bit of a rap as the person you have to talk to when someone didn't do something they were supposed to. But I really like to take this opportunity, and I see Ms. Barty here, I know Dr. Rutherford's back there somewhere. I want to take this opportunity to, one, express to you that they do an amazing job behind the scenes of supporting programs like the Cougar Band, supporting your students, making sure they have opportunities, making sure we have what we need to give those students opportunities. I can't tell you how many times that Dr. Rutherford said, "Hey, I just want you to put our students in a space where they can win. I want you to put our students in a space where they can be competitive. I want you to put our students on the biggest stage." That's always been his heart. And so I would like to take this moment, and I know Ms. Barty's right here, she's an administrator over here at the middle school, but the entire team, Dr. Faulkner, Dr. Pitt, Coach Gregory, the whole team I get to work with, they're amazing people. And yes, sometimes they have to make that phone call that we don't particularly like, but I want you to have an interaction with them where they're just here, they're being supportive, and they're amazing. Would you give them a round of applause, please? There's also another person that, if you see, we have some fancy recording equipment, and there is a band dad that just does that. And he kind of jumped into it as a hobby, and you've seen his videos throughout marching season if you watch our band stuff. He and Daryl Sturr do this, but he is recording this tonight. If you guys would, I think he's hidden back there in the back end of the sound, but oh, they turned the light on. Give Tracy Dean a big round of applause. And he's just a roadie, a band booster, that this is his hobby, and he does it in a high quality space for us. And we appreciate him. So one thing I want to do before we get started is a little bit on music education advocacy. I always say this in front of everyone, and I just say it over and over again, just so everyone hears what the goal is. The goal is not to make your student a music major. It is not to make your student a professional musician. Although we want to do things at a certain level, it is not that. That is not the goal. Just like everybody in education, we're in the business of making citizens. And that is our job. And so everything we do here, we try to train them in a way where, hey, if you're going to do this, we want you to know what excellence feels like. We want you to know the process of learning something new, of acquiring a new skill. That's what we tell sixth graders every time. Most of the time when a sixth grader walks into that room, they have very limited musical knowledge. They don't have the muscles in space to do the things we do. And we develop all of that over the course of that year. And that's skill acquisition. We're teaching them skill acquisition. It's kind of the metacognition version of this. We're teaching them skill acquisition. We're teaching them, hey, you know, yeah, that one note, it's not a big deal. Like, we're just at a Christmas concert. That one note's not a big deal. But you know what? When you want that promotion one day and that one detail in that presentation, it is a big deal. That's the magic that we're doing here. It's not, you know, we're going to play some music, and I'm going to show you some values in that in a second. But what we're teaching here is just some life skills through the medium of band. And anyone that says, well, it's just band, they try to say that and well, it's just band, why are you so serious about it? And I go, you know what, I'm so serious about it because it may just be band right now, but one day it's just going to be that job that they have to get to support their family. One day it's going to be that person that they want to talk to that might be end up being the love of their life. One day it's going to be something much bigger than just band. So you know what, I think I'd rather stress them out in just band before they have to do that. So when people say that, I go, absolutely, it's just band. And when we walk out there on the field, on the football field, when we're out here, we're going to create something excellent because our name's going to be associated with excellence. And that's what we're leaving here. But one final thing I'll leave you with, other than all the studies now that have been produced, that music gives you better memory. It creates, and I can get into some real nerdy stuff. I'm not going to do it. I'm not. But the simple way is it creates some mind maps that kind of run between the spheres of the brain. And magical things happen. We get creative problem solvers, which is like what the industry seems to want right now. They don't want logical thinkers, they want creative problem solvers. And that all happens through music. And music is something special. I tell the story about my grandmother. My grandmother's nearly 100 years old. And I've shared this many times, and I have this video that I haven't had in years past. My grandmother, I was at her house, I had cut down some tree branches and I had moved them into her backyard and then I had loaded them up on a trailer. And my grandmother looked straight at me and said, yeah, you know, Mark said he was going to come and move those. He hadn't come back yet. And my friend that is there with me is, of course, laughing. And of course, he's like, yeah, Mark sucks. Gosh, that guy. And we had a good laugh at it, but she didn't know who I was. No idea who I was. I was standing right there. I had the truck, I had the trailer, everything was going. She can't remember my name. My mom's here. She could tell you some stories as well. But listen to this. Oh, not share. Watch again. She plays the wrong song. And then she's doing everything, all the comps, all the melody, everything. It gets so much better though, because you would think, oh yeah, okay, she remembered a little bit of the melody. Sorry. And then she goes into the chorus. And it keeps going. And I think that's so special when it comes to music. You've seen the videos online where the person something is in there, it's still mapped. And it's doing something magical, and the arts have this power. Because it asks us to do something very, very, honestly, kind of crazy. It asks us to look at symbols on a page or interpret things through our ears and make a mathematical decision and an artistic decision simultaneously. It's one of the the arts are one of the only places where we do that in the same space. And we know that's special because some people are better at talking than others, right? And people that are good at speaking, they have like this art to it. They know how to speed up, they know how to slow down, they know everything about it. And music is the organization of that in tones. And it's so special. So tonight, you're going to see 3 bands. Obviously, we auditioned into these bands. These students are going to look at symbols on a page. They're going to make a mathematical decision, how long, when, simultaneously while deciding the artistic side of it. Is it in tune? Was that soft or loud? What was the feeling of that note supposed to be? Where was I supposed to be listening to? And it all synthesizes at the same time. And that's the special thing about music. For some reason, and I'm sure everyone has seen it, it is staying in people's brains long after these pretty terrible diseases like dementia and Alzheimer's are ripping through there. It is residing there. And for some reason, stays. And it's a powerful thing. So that's my musical advocacy component. Again, thank you so much for letting us get to do this activity with our groups. I'll do a couple more things, as we go through the night. But last thing I'll leave you with. This goes with all the bands. How about that 4th place state marching contest? We were so proud of them, and I know you guys were as well. This concert is a culmination of the semester. We put this music together in about 3 weeks. That is the standard. We basically come back from Thanksgiving and we go, here's some music. Good luck. And they put this whole thing together. So we're super excited. Thank you so much. Without further ado, here is Emma Ramirez to announce the first song.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Emma Ramirez. I'm a junior, and I play the trumpet. Our first piece for the evening will have Deck the Halls, The First Noel, and We Wish You a Merry Christmas in it. Each piece presents a different style of music and key for us to play in. Arranged by Michael Story, here is A Winter Celebration. Testing. Oh, good evening. All right, I am Miss Morgan, if you guys don't already know, and this is our concert band. We have, again, Nicholson said, we've had our music for about 3 weeks, and I am definitely pushing so hard for getting like all those higher grades, just to make sure that, hey, everyone is getting the same amount of love, all right? So, what I want to do next, I want to recognize one student in particular for being a part of an ATSSB process. If you are that person, please stand up. So if you don't know the ATSSB process that we have, we audition on certain materials in the entire region. So actually, now that I think of it, the entire state of Texas really has these set etudes that we are all required to play for this process, and going out of our way just to audition is one grand thing. And so she definitely went up there and like she knocked it out of the park. So one more clap for her, please. I would also like to take this opportunity and time to thank all the admin, to all our sponsors, to all our boosters, and specific thank you to Ms. Partee and Mr. Ellis for letting me use your facilities, because if you guys didn't necessarily know, the concert band, we practice in the middle school, and so they have to walk all the way from the high school, and so for them just to do that every single day, like it is just incredible that they are just dedicated enough to do that. So awesome job, guys. Alrighty, and I believe one last thing, I have one more thank you. Thank you to all my coworkers that I work with. Y'all make every single day just the best day ever. And honestly, like, this doesn't feel like a job. It's not a job to me. This is fun. This is one of the best things that you could ever do. And it's so rewarding just to get to see them, especially get to see them at state, getting 4th place, setting school records. Like, that is insane. This is not a job. This is a passion. This is amazing work that they're going to be doing. So, one last round of applause for them, please. And I am about to announce our next speaker, so if our next speaker could come up.
Hello. Good morning. My name is William Monti. That's William with a K, by the way. I am a senior. I play saxophone. And I have a little script written for my little short speech that I have here. Call me Ishmael. No, wrong one. Sorry. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Our next piece is 20 Carols in 2 Minutes, arranged by Marc Williams, featuring classic rock and roll hits such as Silent Night, O Come All Ye Faithful, We Three Kings, and many more that I'm not going to list because I've already talked for long enough. So without further ado, let us do further. Thank you.